Hello all, welcome to my channel. Myself Amit, and today we will see how we can use Docker MCP Toolkit. So this is new offering from Docker. So let's begin. So this is official documentation from Docker. So we can see here MCP Catalog and Toolkit. So under this they have mentioned what is the purpose of this particular toolkit. Okay, so Docker MCP Toolkits make it easy to set up, manage and run containerized model protocol servers and connect them to all AI agents. Okay, so it provides a secure default and support for a growing ecosystem of LLM-based clients. So they have mentioned how we can set up MCP toolkit. Okay, so how to set up the server, how we can connect it to the different clients, and there are a lot of clients it supports like Cloud, Code, then OpenAI Codex is there, Cursor is there, Visual Studio Code is there, which are the famous and mostly people use in day-to-day activities. So all the steps they have mentioned properly. So let's begin. Okay, so first requirement for this to use Docker MCP toolkit is we should have Docker desktop installed on our machine. Okay, so once we have installed this Docker desktop latest version, so you can see here MCP toolkit one option is available. Okay, currently it is showing in beta version, and we have to click on this. Okay, so once we click on this we can see MCP toolkit, and it provides different sections. So first section is servers. Okay, so whatever like MCP servers we have installed, and that will be listed down here. So we will see how we can install that. And this is a catalog. So these are the different MCP servers available, and we can choose from this list as per our requirement. Like we can see Azure is available, AWS, different MCP servers for different purposes available. Okay, so likewise we can search for Cloudflare, for Google. So most of the popular MCP servers are available and list down in this catalog. So we can select and we can install. So after that we can see this option client. So client are the applications which are running on our local machine from where we want to connect to MCP servers. Okay, via Docker toolkit, Docker MCP toolkit. Okay, so we can see in the list it is showing. So it will show connect for the tools which is already installed. If the particular tool is not installed on your local machine, you need to install that. So after that you will see this connect button. Okay, so we can see like for Cursor also it is available. Then a lot of like clients are available, like we can use Visual Studio Code also, and LM Studio is available, Codex is available. So you can see like all the popular IDs and applications which act as a client is available here. So we will see 2-3 examples like how we can use cloud desktop, and then how we can access Docker MCP toolkit or servers from Visual Studio Code and Cursor. Okay, so let's begin. First step is like to search for a particular MCP server. So consider YouTube one MCP server is there, which we can use for different purpose. If we click on that particular MCP server, we can see the operations that particular MCP server is doing. So it is doing like get time transcript, get transcript, okay, get video information. So basically like this is one MCP server provided by YouTube to get information about a particular YouTube URL. Okay, so this is useful. Sometimes I think I have already installed this, so that's why there is no option to add. Okay, so let's search another one. So AWS is very popular. Okay, so in AWS we can use like different MCP server, but for this tutorial purpose let's install AWS documentation. Okay, if we are searching for any documentation, for that purpose AWS has provided this MCP server. So you can see like what different operations this particular MCP server or it is providing as a tool. Okay, so these are the different tools or operations we can do: read documentation, recommend, and search documentation. So three things are there. By clicking on this add MCP server, we have added this particular tool as a MCP server. Okay, so these two MCP servers we have added. So once we have added from the catalog, we can see the MCP server is listed in this section, my servers. Okay, so these are the different MCP servers that we have installed. If due to some reason you don't want to use a particular MCP server, you can click delete and it will be removed from the list, and all the clients would not be able to use that particular MCP server. Okay, so after this we have to configure clients also to use this MCP server by Docker toolkit. Okay, MCP toolkit. So if you see here, I think installed for VS Code. Okay, so we have to connect, uh, click on the connect button and it will be connected. Okay, so let's do it for cursor. So if I click on this, you can see it got connected. Okay, client connected to the MCP toolkit. To continue. Okay, after that we can do it for cloud desktop also. Just select, and after that we need to restart if that particular client, like we have done this for three clients, right? VS Code, cursor and cloud desktop. So if those tools are were already running, just restart them, so that whatever configuration desktop toolkit is doing, like it will be reflected there. Okay, just stop. Okay, so both has been stopped. Okay. Hmm. And same, do same for Visual Studio Code also. So let's begin with Visual Studio Code. So once you install the MCP server via desktop toolkit, MCP toolkit, so you can see all those tools in configuration tools option. Okay, so few I already installed, like GitHub, but I have unchecked that, and you can see here MCP Docker is listed here as a, like as a server, and it is providing all the operations from the MCP servers that we have added. Okay, via Docker desktop as a MCP toolkit. Okay, so you can see here get time transcript. Okay, get transcript, get video information. These three tools has been added from YouTube MCP server. Okay, and all other related to all other operations like read documentation, recommended, search documents. We have seen these three operation or tools in where AWS documentation. Okay, so like this, like all the operations would be added. Okay, so let's do one operation and see whether it is working or not. So YouTube MCP server we have already added. So I will get the transcript for one of the video that I have recorded in past. So for that we need to go to YouTube. So I'm selecting one of my. Okay, so I'm back here. So just we need to write prompt for this, and we need to pass the URL. Okay, so once we click on this, so automatically, like VS Code try to use the tools, and it will identify the most required tool for this operation. Okay, or for this prompt. Okay, so it is thinking like which prompt it should use. Okay, so if you see here YouTube transcript for the URL. Okay, then it is doing some it is see get transcript. Okay, from MCP in Docker MCP server. Okay, so it is, so VS Code able to identify the required tool automatically. Okay, and it is using YouTube transcript. Okay, get transcript this particular tool from MCP server that we have added. So you can see like this particular MCP server able to successfully able to get the transcript for one of my video. Okay, so you can see it is doing the operation. Since that YouTube video is very long, it will take some time to get the complete transcript. Okay, so this is how we can use MCP server in different clients via Docker toolkit. So there is no need to. So what is the use of this, like Docker MCP toolkit is that at the centralized location inside the Docker toolkit or Docker desktop, we have added all these MCP servers at one place, and we are adding Docker MCP as a like a center point, okay, and through that we are calling all the different tools, okay, and we are doing the operation instead of like single we are coming here and we are adding. So managing all this MCP server at one location inside Docker desktop is very easy. If tomorrow if I don't want to use a particular MCP server, if I remove from here, it will be removed automatically, get removed from all the clients where we have configured this MCP toolkit, Docker MCP toolkit. So we have seen one example. So likewise, we can check so for VS Code we have seen. So let's move ahead and check in cursor also. Okay, so this is cursor that I have installed. So if we come in the in cursor settings, okay, in cursor settings and inside that cursor settings, okay, so you will see there is a one option, tools and MCP. Here you will see all the added MCP servers, okay, so we can see like MCP Docker is present here, okay, so that is pointing to the our Docker toolkit, okay, and if we click on this, we can see all the operations that this particular uh, MCP Docker is providing. Okay, so if you see here, get time transcript, it is coming from the same MCP server that we have added in Docker related to YouTube. Okay, get all these operations we have seen already seen. Okay, and after that, like read documentation, search documentation, these things are coming from AWS. Okay, so this is how we can see the operations which is provided by this particular. Okay, so let's do one operation. We will see one example of how we can use AWS documentation and MCP server to get some documentation related to S3 bucket. Okay, so if you see here, it is able to run this particular search documentation tool which is present inside AWS documentation MCP server. Okay, and it is waiting for our response, okay, approval to run this tool. Okay, either we can allow everything, like every time whenever it is using search documentation, it will not wait for our approval, okay, or we can just run for this particular execution. So if we run this, it will fetch documentation from this particular tool, okay, and it able to get that, and now it is doing different operation, okay, and we can allow every, so we can see here like it is able to run and still it is waiting for our approval. So allow list, we are allowing, so it is doing the operation, reading the documentation. So it is fetching all the documentation which is on AWS portal and doing the operation. So at the end, it will tell us like how to create S3 bucket by reading the documentation. So this is one of the example. Okay, so how we can use AWS MCP server for documentation reading purpose. Similarly, we can do some other operations also on AWS, because AWS, if you see here, in catalog, AWS is providing a lot of MCP server for different purpose. Okay, AWS Terraform is present, CDK APIs are there if you want to call some APIs. Okay, so in few of the MCP servers we need authentication, few are without authentication, like when we are reading documentation, in that case authentication is not required. But if we are doing some operations in some of the MCP server, we need to authenticate. Okay, so for that purpose we have auth method is present here. Okay, so every MCP server has its own different way of doing the authentication, so as per requirement we can do that. So this is how like we have seen on cursor and on VS Code. Okay, so similar operation we can do uh, on cloud desktop also. Click on this plus button and in the connectors we can see MCP Docker is registered here. Okay, so same MCP toolkit that we have configured in Docker desktop, it is visible here. Okay, and we can manage, we can see like what are the different operations we can do in this like MCP Docker. So all the operations like get time script, transcript, get transcript, okay, get video information. Same operations or tools are present inside the video MCP, YouTube MCP server, okay, and also documentation related to AWS documentation MCP server is also present here. Okay, so now we are back to the chart. Okay, and we have seen how we can configure MCP Docker all the operations. If particular operation is not required, we can turn off that also. Okay, that possibility is also there. So inside manage, in the configuration, some out of like different tools and operations, if some particular operation we don't want to allow, okay, so we can block that. Okay, and for each operation, whenever that particular tool has been called, so it will ask for approval. Okay, but if we always allow it, we can turn on this and it will not wait for our approval, your user's approval. Okay, so let's go back and let's see one example in the cloud desktop also. So we can see here like cloud desktop also using our MCP Docker and calling the tool. Okay, and it is waiting for our approval. Okay, we can deny, always allow, or allow once. Okay, let's click on always allow, so that it will not wait for our approval next time. Okay, so you can see here like get transcript, this particular tool has been called and it is doing the operation. Okay, it is planning, and then it will fetch the information. So it already did that. This video is a comprehensive guide covering Docker interview questions presented by Amit. Okay, and these are the different sections. Okay, and the different file. So this is giving like short description of what I did in that particular video. So hope this tutorial was helpful for you. Okay, so we have seen how we can use Docker MCP Toolkit, and we can configure different MCP servers in it, and also connect to different clients. So we have seen three examples: Cursor, VS Code, and Cloud Desktop. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please let me know in comment section, and hope this was helpful for you. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel.